I about died. I was about ready to fall out of my chair. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer. And it's night 3 of the voice knockouts, and I am here for you, and I am here for this show. We started out with Team Alicia and Chris Blue, Britton Buchanan versus Dallas Caroline. Britton did New York State of Mind by Billy Joel, and in rehearsal he looked to be giving it his all, but Alicia wanted him to play the piano on it. Chris wanted him to hold out one certain note, just gave him a note about that. Dallas did Bless the Broken Heart by Rascal Flats, and they were telling her she could be a little behind the beat during the performance because she felt that the song was going a little fast for her. Chris gave her a reading on how to give the song a wow moment, telling her to give this big note at one point, hold it out, and then bring it back down to end it. So that was nice. In the ring, Britton started out sitting at the piano with a nice clear sound and really nice vocal inflections, but he was quickly on his feet and really seemed to feel these lyrics and feel out some of the soul in the melody. This was so infused with emotion and truth, very believable, and a great tribute to New York. After Britton, Dallas sounded very thin and inconsistent. Her voice was shaky with nerves and didn't have a lot of resonance. The big note was okay, but I just wasn't liking the sound of her voice on this. Adam gushed over Britton and told Dallas she broke his heart. Blake told Dallas she did a great job and told Britton that he has a style and coolness that's undeniable. Kelly said Britton had an old school Rat Pack thing about him, and Alicia chose Britton because he continues to evolve with years of feeling coming out. Next up, it was TeamKelly and Cassadee Pope with DR King versus Tish, Haynes, Keys. Oh my God, 2 of my favorites! DR did I Know I'm Losing You by Rod Stewart. The Temptations did the original. And Kelly told him that he's a beast and bragged about his range to Cassadee, but picked the part where she wanted to hear his falsetto, and Cassadee complimented his pitch. Tish Haynes Keys was doing Lady Marmalade by LaBelle, Lady Mama by LaBelle, the original, and she was wailing away in rehearsal and had Kelly up dancing. Kelly told her to give a breathy rasp moment to break up the wails, while Cassadee told her to pick her moments. In the ring, DR let out a whoop and a wail to start this and then preached these lyrics to the crowd. He has such an intensity and made sure to address every side of the audience. He went and did his thing. His first falsetto attempt didn't pop like normal, but this had drive and pace with a great vocal power. Now Tish picked a big iconic song that's right in her wheelhouse. I really liked how she started it out sexy and laid back. She's got the notes and was enjoying showing off her stuff. Those big notes in the breakdown section as she dug in and swooped up to the top, I was like, yes, fantastic! She's got a lot of grit and was dancing and enjoying herself, covering the stage, and made it back center for the ending. All the coaches stood for her. This was just phenomenal. Alicia was speechless and told DR he took the song to another space, and then told Tish she loved her sass. Adam liked that DR did his own version of this song and called them both beyond phenomenal. Blake called them both world-class talent, and Kelly chose DR King, saying it was an insane version of the song. Then she chimed right in to save Tish, and Adam chimed in to steal naturally, and Tish decided to stay with Kelly. I'm so glad. And if you're glad, please make sure to thumb up the commentary. Let me know that you're enjoying it. I am doing my best over here, y'all. I'm trying to keep it going. I appreciate you watching. I really appreciate your comments, and I appreciate your thumbs. Next up was TeamBlake with Kohanski, Dylan Hartigan versus Wilkes, and Dylan did You Are the Best, You Are the Best Thing by Ray LaMontagne, and we do this all the time. I do this song all the time. In rehearsal, he was grinding and wailing, you know, moving his body and stuff. Blake told him that sometimes his voice goes into a whisper and that he should project throughout the performance. Chloe wanted to understand the dynamics better. Wilkes did The Climb by Miley Cyrus, and he was giving Chloe chills during rehearsal, but she called it his song off the bat. Blake told him that he wanted to understand every lyric, so make sure to enunciate. In the ring, Dylan started out sweetly. He had some sex appeal and uses it well on stage. His voice is so clean compared to Ray. I was kind of missing that gruff, but he was pleasing the crowd with his stage moves. He made some good changes in the title line. It happens so often. You are the best thing, you are the best thing, you are the best thing. That happens to me, that you have to like kind of switch it up, and he did that very well. I liked what he did with it. The bridge was so smooth that I almost didn't recognize it. He made those notes seem so easy and played well with the melody. For Wilkes, this was an interesting song choice, but as a songwriter, I can understand it. He was very involved in the lyrics as he began and made this very personal. This showed a lot of grunge in his voice, and he really told the story, opened up well for the high notes. Even when it didn't sound like good to me, his presence was impressive, and I was totally engaged in everything he was doing. Kelly was very impressed by Wilkes, but preferred Dylan. Alicia called Dylan super dynamic and noticed that the music took over Wilkes. Adam said we notice Dylan more every time he sings, and Blake chose Wilkes, of course, because he continues to show there's no limit to his range. And Kelly chimed in to steal Dylan after lamenting like she has so many guys, but who cares, Kelly? Steal them all! Next up, we had TeamAdam with Jordan Smith. There was Gary Edwards versus Raishin Lamar. Gary did Many Rivers to Cross by Jimmy Cliff. And in rehearsal, Gary was still reading the lyrics. Adam noticed it was more gospel, but told him to have less runs and more extended notes. Jordan told him to dig in and make it seem like it wasn't a planned moment. Raishin was doing Fallin' by Alicia Keys, and he threw in some nice jazzy scats, but Adam told him he needs to simulate one big part of Alicia's song, so he needed to do the Adam also told him not to think about it too much, but just let it flow. In the ring, Gary kicked us off in darkness with just an organ and that piercing tone and quite a few riffs and runs happening. He was very emphatic with these lyrics and was showing off all of his range, but the emotion wasn't translating for me because he was doing too much with all over the place. And I love me some great vocal runs. I'll tell y'all, y'all know it now. I love when people who could be doing all this, but he wasn't investing the emotion in it for me. I thought it was great vocal work, but I just wasn't touched by it. Were you touched by it? If you were, let me know down in the comments. And I almost forgot Raishin in the competition. He is such a good vocalist with such a pure sound. He was feeling these lyrics with moans and ticks between the lyrical lines. I always really enjoyed that. And when he jumped up to hit that high note, he went, and jumped to hit the nine. I about died. I was about ready to fall out of my chair. So funny, so much energy, and such range. His high notes into the scat were really enjoyable, and he didn't seem to want to end the song because the music was finished and he was still doing his thing. I was like, go ahead and sing, boy. Kelly called Raishin's vocal insane, but preferred Gary's low tones. Blake told Raishin that he's full of it and told Gary he sang the hell out of that song. Alicia liked Gary's tone and asked how he catches his breath, then was impressed that Raishin could hit all those notes. And Adam chose Raishin because he said he swings past the fences every single time. And Blake chimed in to steal Gary. A win-win! We got another win-win over here. Next up, it was TeamKelly with Alexa Capelli versus Jorge Eduardo. Alexa was doing Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. And Kelly said her control is insane in rehearsal. Kelly also told her she doesn't need to do too many runs, so she has somewhere to breathe. And Cassadee was telling her she could build up to something. I forgot what it was. I didn't type it in. Okay. Jorge did Adorn by Miguel. Let my love dawn ya. And Kelly was on her feet the whole time he was singing. He asked about the falsetto at the end, and she told him to change it up slightly, but to keep it. And Cassadee noticed that his voice kept climbing and climbing and climbing throughout the song. In the ring, Alexa was very invested in these low notes and with great control and attention to the lyrics. It was almost like she was doing a slow yodel before she came off the mic stand and gave the audience some love. She was just out there just singing that song to everybody, and I was enjoying it. She was forming those words so well and laid into them nicely. Jorge started out a bit disjointed. I thought this would be like sexy in his voice, but he was making it a little jittery with his dancing. He just seemed nervous to me. It sounded okay in his voice, but it didn't really impress as he fell off the falsetto at points. And I really thought he was gonna bring in like this, the Latin lover kind of thing with this, and that's what he should have been focusing on for me, but it just didn't happen. And I was like, why? Why? That would have been a perfect song for that type of thing, and he didn't make it happen. And Kelly chose Alexa because she brings her A game every time. Then we had a montage with TeamAdam. It was Reed Umstadt versus Jordan Simone. He won out, and they did show a bit of his performance. And in the fifth spot, it was TeamAlicia, Kelsey Johnson versus Sharane Callister. Kelsey did Rise Up by Andre Day, and in rehearsal, Chris noticed the tempo was too fast, and Alicia told her to sit in it, and they wanted her to take her time and leave out a lot of the runs. Sharane did All I Could Do Was Cry by Etta James, and Alicia was loving this, but still told her that she can give more drama at the end. Alicia also told them both to remember why they are them. In the ring, Kelsey's song choice was exciting the crowd right away. Her voice sounded really focused, and she was guiding those notes into the perfect places. Her grit and investment on the big notes were just as good and focused and laser sharp as the straight tone she pulled out for the you. I mean, just so focused. I felt like she definitely rose to this challenge and made me a believer. Sharane had her work cut out for her, and she got in a little riff before the verse and really set out to tell this story. You could see the hurt and pain in her face, in her eyes, and then she pimped out that serious flip in the head voice. Kelly was singing along, and Sharane found places to mix soft and tender, but also found some grit and surrender in these notes. This was like a master class from beginning to end. I was blown away. Adam noticed Sharane's emotional connection, but thought Kelsey was probably more in her head. Kelly told Kelsey that she gets a little raspy at times and called Sharane one of the most emotional singers on the show. Blake told Sharane that she has WTF pipes and counseled Kelsey that people like the breaks in her voice. And Alicia chose Kelsey, saying there's something mysterious and special about her. And Adam chimed right in to steal Sharane. We knew that. Of course it's going to be a win-win. It's the final battle, the final knockout. Of course it's going to be a win-win. Tomorrow night's show is a recap, so I will be seeing you guys next week. Next week the show will be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We're going to the lives, everybody. So it'll be 3 nights. There'll be 2 nights of performances and a night of judging. Somebody is going to be going home. Who do you think it's going to be? I don't know if they're going to just send 1 person home or if they're going to be sending 5 people home. It's always so confusing. They try to flip us out every single time. But I hope you enjoyed the show. Let me know who your favorites tonight. This is Robert Anton, RobertAnton.com. I am out.